Hi, and I still have to say Happy New Year. Welcome to Candid Talk with Adelle. I'm always happy to be here because I'm your accountability partner, because we're all about growth and accountability, and I'm always excited to share that with you. All you have to do is please subscribe. It helps me or keeps me motivated to bring you more content, but also to get you the quality guests that you need. Like I promised you in our last conversations, I still have my handsome guest, Rotarian Sam. I call him CP, Sam Gambwachi. Most of you know him. He's a speaker. He really coaches a lot. If you want to be coachable, this is the gentleman to go to. And of course, we are here to talk about something very pertinent. If you're above 30, like I am, this is your conversation. Let's get started. Rotarian Sam Gambwachi, CP Sam.
Yes, Rotarian Adelle.
That will never leave you. You know that will never leave you. You are present for life.
We give glory to God.
Yes. Yeah. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Back.
Thank
I'm
you
glad to have you.
Hosting.
Always glad.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you in the 30s like me?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Deep in the mid-30s.
You're deep in the mid-30s.
Yeah.
I'm in the early 30s,
Yeah.
but we're getting there.
Yeah.
And when you get to 30s, things change.
Yeah.
Perceptions change. How you look at things change. And then when you give birth, then you know it's getting real.
I know.
What have the 30s taught us, Sam? What do you look back and say, if I was a 28-year-old, what would I do differently into my 30s? Let's get that conversation going.
Amazing. What the 30s have taught us.
Yeah.
The 30s have taught me to appreciate everything I did before 30.
Yeah.
And it has taught me to appreciate all the mistakes. And it's very important that whatever you do before now, be it challenges, be it success, you count it all a blessing.
Yes.
Because it all builds to the ingredient that you become after 30. If you know, looking back at the things we did before 30, you look back and say, the decisions I make in my 30s are mostly informed
by your past.
The past.
Very true.
So one, the 30s help you appreciate the old days where you're probably a lot of more spoon-fed, where you think the world revolves around you, and people must think about you in everything they do. And the 30s teach you that, hey, you're going to think about yourself, you're going to feed yourself, and there's no one that
and you're going to take care of someone else.
And you're going to take care of others. So yeah, that's what it's taught me. The 30s have taught me to extremely be selective.
Yeah.
The people you bring into your space, the things you choose to do in your 30s. Just out of here, you go into a midlife crisis. And midlife crisis, if you've not done much, then it means that you hit your retirement when you're in a crisis.
And that's terrible.
When we are not yet in our 30s,
yeah,
we pick every acquaintance along the way. 30s teach you to be extremely selective. 30s teach you to have understood your purpose for life.
Yes.
And every time you understand your purpose for life, then that informs the people you bring into your life and the things you do in your life.
You know, one thing about the 30s is that I woke up, Sam. I woke up. I used to enjoy, you know, I get the money, do what I have to do. Yes. I became a CEO at 28.
Yes.
Got the money, you know, made everyone happy. The 30s taught me that, wake up, Adelle. You need to start looking ahead.
Yes.
You need to invest.
Yes.
You need to grow up because time is running out.
And that conversation you're right speaking to is that before 30s, you work for you. You live for you.
Yes.
After 30s, you start living for others.
Isn't it also true that when you're living for others, you sort of forget about yourself in most cases, which can also be bad?
No,
how do you balance that out?
I know. Now, that's a beautiful part of the conversation.
How do you balance that out?
You see, we need to plan for life because life has different stages of growth and development. For example, this could be a bias, but from the personal growth conversations, you need to have given birth by 40. Why?
Yes.
Retirement or lifespan of a Ugandan is around 55.
So you have
if
like
you're
50
still
years, 15
giving
years.
birth at 45,
Yeah.
and it's okay if you're giving birth now, but what I'm trying to say is that if you're giving birth at 45, you're going to be 55, which is a lifespan expiry
When your child
when you
is
have
10
a
years.
10-year-old. And that under our system means that you have a primary going child and lower primary, P2, P3. So meaning that you don't leave, you'll keep being alive to raise these ones until probably you're 60 or 70.
And
Now,
the capacity to work might be also.
the Bible is very clear that at certain stage you must invest your energy, because as you grow older, you become more vulnerable. Your energies keep going down. So how do you balance the two to live for others? One
Live
is
for
that
you.
when you have had a focus, in my 20s and late 20s, if I got money, I needed to go and have fun. I needed to go party. I needed to go have a date with someone and eat good food and happen around. Today, I will still do that. But the question I keep asking myself is, for whatever decision I do, what is its impact to the community and people around me? That's where the difference happens. Before, I wasn't thinking, whatever I do, what impact does it have to the community? No, it's about me.
Yeah, true.
If I feel like I need to eat and get satisfied,
go and
if I
get
need to get drink and get tipsy, it's okay. But after in your 30s, you've started having a family. You have people you take care of. You're thinking, if I'm going to go out and buy a shirt of 500,000 and my child has no milk, is it fair?
What is the impact?
What is the impact?
Of whatever decision you make?
Exactly. So now you say, I'm going to wear a shirt of 200 and save 100,000 for the milk for my son. Or you will then say, I need to double my working efforts so that I still wear my shirt of 300
and still
without impacting the budget of my child.
So what I'm hearing right now is that you have to make informed decisions.
Absolutely.
It can no longer be on impulse.
No,
it can no longer be on emotion.
On impulse and emotion. You must be quite intuitive and quite cognitive of everything you do. Because if you have 1 million and you drink it, the next day, the pockets are looking at you.
Yeah, true. And the other thing that 30s have taught me, Sam, is that it's okay to have few friends. It's very okay to have few friends. And it's okay to have many acquaintances but few friends. Which takes me to the point that you raised earlier, being selective.
Yes.
Choosing what you do and how you do it. Because every decision we make right now will determine the outcome of tomorrow. For me, it's a key lesson in my 30s right now.
I always say in your 30s, your life becomes a house. You know, when you have a house has a compound. Even if you're renting, it has a compound.
Yeah.
It has the balcony or the veranda. It has a living room. It has a kitchen. It has a bedroom. Now, you look at your life in that space. Now, Adele, does everyone who come home enter the kitchen?
No.
Does everyone who come home enter your bedroom?
No, they stay in the sitting room.
Thank you very much. So in your 30s, you create a huge living room for acquaintances. But selectively, certain people must access your bedroom.
Yeah.
Now, your life is your bedroom. Not everyone must poke in it. There are people who must stay at the gate. There are people who must enter the compound and stay there.
Yeah.
There are people who must knock at the door and you come and find them at the door and have a conversation from there. And then there are those who must come in the living room and then they are limited. Limited. Just like when, you know, these drinks, expensive drinks, we are limited edition.
Yes.
Books, limited edition. Your 30s must have limited edition.
What I'm hearing, Sam, is boundaries.
Yes. They're
Draw
very, very
boundaries.
key. Because the more people access your life, the more you're giving them powers to your life.
Very true.
You see, let me tell you, Adelle, if I am close to you, I have huge impact on your emotions and your everyday living. That if you call me and I don't pick, you'll feel bad about it. If you expect me to be there with you and I'm not there, you'll feel an impact about it. If you expect me to support you and I don't support you, it will have an impact about it.
You'll be disappointed.
So when you have a huge open space with no boundaries, it means your expectations are so huge from all these people. And that's the beginning of disappointment and frustration. The fewer the people, the lesser the expectations. But also what's very important is that then your energies are fed into a two-way traffic. So you're driving a two-way traffic. The people you drive into you. The people you drive into, it's a jug, glass equation. You must power into something that powers back into you. And that must be a deep conversation.
Very true. And then you talked about something very pertinent, expectations.
Yes.
Expectations bring disappointment.
A lot of people are going into mental health issues because of expectations.
One thing I've learned in my 30s, one is to also manage my priorities and expectations from people.
Exactly.
That is important.
In what you can't give, don't expect
Don't expect it.
And then that means that then who do you give?
Agreed.
Who do you give? So it's very, very important. Many people, expectations kill work, expectations kill relationships, expectations kill friendships.
Agreed.
Because you feed into people expecting to feed back into
Back to you. If
you
they
must
don't
feed into people because you're feeding into them, and you find satisfaction and contentment in feeding into them. But the beauty about boundaries and creating small circles, I'll give you a short mathematical elaboration. Much as I'm very good at mathematics, I know you're much better. You do a lot of analysis of sports and all those 90 minutes and all that. But let me show you. You have 1 million shillings.
Yeah.
Right? You have 25 people around you. It means that for every person, they'll take how much? 20? 20K? Right? So for 25 people, each one 20K, and then you'll have given out 1 million shillings. The laws of life are quite clear that out of the 25, if you needed 1 million shillings back,
would they give it to you?
Would they give it to you? You'll certainly pick it from only 10 people. Now, out of those 10 people, one will give you 100, another will give you 50, another will give you 150, another will give you 30, because the law does not mean that how you give is how you receive.
How you receive.
Now, it means that if you have now 1 million, you need to zero down to 10 people instead of 25 and give the 25, ignore the 15. Now, out of 10 people, if you gave them 1 million, it means each one takes 100K.
Yeah.
What has that done? Every time you decrease on the numbers, you increase on the value. And that value increased is value increased in your life and in their life.
Yes.
So when you squeeze the number to 5, it means that then you're giving each one 250.
Yeah.
You've reduced the numbers, you've increased value.
True.
Value in your life,
and in their
value
life.
in their life. Now, it's more certain that if you give 4 people 250, the value in their life has multiplied.
Yeah.
When you need 1 million back,
You
there is
will
huge
get
certainty
it.
only one person can actually give you 1, and if all give you, you'll have
Well and
5
good.
million. So now you realize that 5 people, you give them 1 million, you fetch 5 million out of them.
Yeah.
So that's a law of life. The higher, like they say, the higher you go, the cooler it becomes in your 30s.
Yeah.
The higher you keep going up, the more you must compress the numbers, because that means time. Even if it was about time and value.
Yeah.
It means if you have 5 people, every week you can choose to spend an hour with this person. And that's where the bond grows. If you have 30 people, you never spend time with them. You become passive.
True. They
Send
become
a WhatsApp
normal.
message, and life ends like that.
As we conclude this conversation, what are those things that you did in your 20s that you could have changed that now you wish, like, you look back and you're like, I wish I had changed this. I would be better in my 30s.
I still feel everything has counted on the experience probably that makes me today.
Yeah.
But I think funny is one thing I would have done in my 20s to have given birth to them. I just realized that even when you delay,
Yeah.
the responsibilities are the same. But assuming I gave birth at 20, I would be having a teenager now, and life feels good. By the
Yeah.
time I'm 45, I'll
He's
be
also
walking
good.
into, play golf with my son, and yeah. But nevertheless, it's beautiful. Another thing I think I would have changed in my 20s was to have had a mentor and a
Yeah.
coach by then.
Yeah.
I think they would do a great deal in directing us where we are going. And I think having had a person who gives you a sense of direction is
Yeah.
one of those things I miss. I miss so much about
For
the
me,
20s.
if you're watching this and then you're in your 30s, this episode was meant for you. If I could change anything in my past, I would have learned more about personal growth and investment. I could have been a better person right now than what I did.
Yeah.
So if you're in your 30s, this episode was meant for you. This year, you can be different. This year, you can stand out. This year, you can change what you need to change to be a better person. Let's make targets. Give yourself 5 years, 10 years. What do you want to be? Where will you be? And this month is all about inspiration in order for you to stand out. We are your accountability partners here at Candid, and we're going to bring you more conversations that are exciting, only also if you come to Inyamat Gardens and have a cup of tea. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next conversation. Bye.